My name is Dylan Flippence. In-game, I'm actually called Wilbur. I have a character name. I've been LARPing for about 7 years. So our group here, we meet every Sunday, and what we do is what we call battle games. So we'll set up a scenario, usually something like capture the flag, or we'll have like an object, like a large object that you have to pick up and slowly walk with. Or maybe a castle defense game, but it checks a lot of boxes for a hobby for a lot of people. So there's a very sports-like aspect to the games that we play, but also there's a creative outlet for it that is very nice. So we make a lot of our own equipment. So it's a good excuse to explore crafts, making things that you wouldn't normally try. Like I sewed for the first time in many, many years. I've made a lot of what I'm wearing today.
I'm really heavily into like the arts and sciences aspect of this game. I make all of my clothing, as well as many other people's clothing.
Because I'm a very crafty person, I make a lot of things, specifically armor and stuff. And this is probably the only community I know of in Ottawa that fosters that.
Right there where you died.
So a lot of common misconceptions about LARPing have to do with the type of people that participate with it. I think that there's this sort of perception that people have in their minds about what that kind of person is like some 30, 40-year-old who lives in their mother's basement and is unwashed and doesn't know how to talk to other people. But like, this is a very social community. There's quite a wide range of people who participate in this hobby, from people who are literally professional athletes that I know who participate in this hobby.
I know that amongst non-friends there is a weird that's cringy and bizarre and oh, you run around smacking people with pool noodles? That's awkward. And I'm like, well, what I've said to my friends and to myself is I'm like, I don't see it being that much different from just a really complicated sport.
When I first was coming in, I was like, you know what, at least I don't LARP. I'm not one of those nerds who does weird stuff. And then I started doing it and I love it, it's great. It's my main, social community and hobby for the last 7 years, right? So I even had to break my own misconceptions and social conceptions about this community before I came into it.
It's a great hobby, it's great exercise, that kind of stuff. But then over the pandemic, of course, I had to stop. And it didn't occur to me throughout those 2-ish years how much I missed it, until in the summer of 2021, I came back for the first day back, and then I'm driving home and actually called my mom and I'm like, yo, you know what I was missing in my life? This game.
LARP is a community where I get to explore things that mean a lot to me, where I get to be physical, where I get to be social, where I get to use leadership skills, where I get to craft, and where I get to just hang out with my friends and hit them with swords.